All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my top 10 most trustworthy quarterbacks heading into the NFL playoffs. Now, if you guys have followed on the Hot Podcast for the last few years, this has been one of my favorite segments. And I do this every time before the AFC and NFC wildcard games. I share my 10 trustworthy quarterbacks heading into the NFL playoffs. So my list will start at number 1, go all the way down to number 10 on this list. Number 1 was tough this year because I'm looking. There's no Patrick Mahomes in sight. So number 1, I'm going to put Josh Allen on my list as the most trustworthy quarterback heading into the National Football League playoffs. Now, this is honestly a hot take to have Josh Allen here at number 1 as my most trustworthy quarterback heading into the NFL playoffs because the Buffalo Bills are the 6th seed in the AFC, but I don't give a damn about that. Because I do believe that Josh Allen, his back is against the wall. And hot take here, if Josh Allen in this AFC landscape with a lot of unproven AFC quarterbacks other than Aaron Rodgers in the dance, if he can't get to the Super Bowl this year, he's never going to win a Super Bowl title in his NFL career. Because there's no Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. There's no Joe Burrow in the playoffs. There's no Lamar Jackson in the playoffs in his way to not get himself in position to get to the Super Bowl this year. If you're Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. And you guys could say I'm delusional for saying that, but guess what? Josh Allen's kryptonite in the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes. He's 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. He's 0-1 against Joe Burrow in the playoffs. Those are the only quarterbacks to ever defeat Josh Allen in the playoffs. So what roadblocks does he really have in terms of experience against other opposing quarterbacks in the AFC, other than Aaron Rodgers, who has a lot of experience? But and he's 42. But you guys get my point. As a 6th seed, the Buffalo Bills, it's not impossible to think that he could go in the Jaguar and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not impossible to think that Josh Allen can't lead this team to a Super Bowl appearance. This man is a former MVP. This man is a top 3 quarterback in the league. This man is known for making clutch plays. This man is known for his pinpoint accuracy. This man is known for his arm strength. This man is known for his good decision making. This man is known for being one of the best dual threats of all time. I'm tired of the excuses for Josh Allen. It's do or die. And there's no excuses for him not to get to a Super Bowl this year. Therefore, he's going to be my most trustworthy quarterback heading into the NFL playoffs. Number two, I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford. Now, Matthew Stafford is going to be my second most trustworthy quarterback heading into the NFL playoffs. He's a veteran guy that has the experience to win it all. He just won it all a few years ago with the Los Angeles Rams. He's a former Super Bowl champion, one of the most clutch quarterbacks of this era with several fourth-quarter comebacks, several game-winning drives in his NFL career. And honestly, he's having his best regular season year of his NFL career. Could honestly win his first MVP award. But when you look at what he has to work with, him and the Los Angeles Rams have to work with for the NFL playoffs. You got Matthew Stafford. You got to trust in him, and I'm trusting in him. You got Kyren Williams as a running back. You got Blake Corum, who has stepped up as a second-string running back. You got Puka Nacua, one of the best wide receivers in the league. They could get Davante Adams back as soon as this wildcard game against the Carolina Panthers on the road. You got Sean McVay, boy genius, one of the best offensive play callers in the league. You got a really reliable defense in LA. So I think the only reason why people won't believe in Matthew Stafford is because they have the 5th seed in the NFC West. They were unable to win the NFC West division, therefore they're a wild card. But when you look at their route to possibly get into a Super Bowl, I like their odds against Carolina on the road, even though they lost to him a few weeks ago. I like their odds on the road. I am actually confident in them beating Philadelphia and Philly in the divisional round if possible. I think they could hang with the Seattle Seahawks if they got a matchup against them in the divisional round as well. If they don't blow a 16-point lead, if they learn from their mistakes in their most previous game against the Seattle Seahawks on the road. In hostile territories, I like the odds for the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Eagles in Philly, beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, possibly the Chicago Bears in Chicago. I like the chances. I think Matthew Stafford is my second most trustworthy quarterback heading into the NFL playoffs. Number 3, don't really want to say it, but it's just the landscape of the playoffs this year. Number 3, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. And am I a fan of this Eagles team? Hell no. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. But am I a fan of this offense, being an offensive fan of football? Hell no. Not led by Kevin Patulio. But you got to give Jalen Hurts his credit. He is a experienced quarterback with playoff experience. He's 6-3 in the playoffs. Just won his first Super Bowl title last year. Just won his first Super Bowl MVP. So this man knows how to show up in big games and deliver in big moments. So you got to say he's a top 3 trustworthy quarterback heading into the NFL playoffs. And all he has to do is run the football with his legs. He's a dynamic athlete, dynamic runner with the football in his hands. Step up and make the big throws. We know that Jalen Hurts has a big arm. He can be accurate when asked to be. And in the postseason, he has a tremendous record at home. Do they have home field advantage throughout? No, but as a 3rd seed, you never know what can happen. And he's 5-0 in Philly in the playoffs. So I think Jalen Hurts deserves to be a top 3 trustworthy quarterback heading into the NFL playoffs. Now, after this, guys, this list gets a little dicey. I'm going to roll the dice here and put Sam Darnold in my 4th trustworthy spot. Now, Sam Darnold is very high on my list to some, but he has won me over. He has won me over with his leadership. He has won me over with turning around his NFL career. Guys, you got to give him his credit. He went 14-3 with 2 different franchises back-to-back years in the National Football League. I don't give a damn who you are as a starting quarterback or what team you're on. If you can do that back-to-back years in the NFL and 2 tough divisions in the NFC North and the NFC West, you're doing a damn good job in the National Football League. He's won me over after that thrilling Thursday night football victory against the Los Angeles Rams weeks ago, when they were trailing by 16 points. He helped the Seattle Seahawks get back at the game, win the game in overtime. And after that, I'm thinking, if Sam Darnold could play this brand of football, they got a chance to win it all. And then the odds-on favorite to win it all right now. So he has everything going for him, guys. Sam Darnold has everything going for him. He has a trustable head coach in Mike Macdonald that has laid the foundation there in Seattle. They got a good running game or a good 1-2 punch at the running back position. He's got Jackson Smith-Njigba, one of the best wide receivers in the league, a really reliable defense with the home field advantage with the 12th man. The 12th man is going to be rocking in Seattle for the playoffs. The only problem is what version of Sam Darnold shows up for the playoffs, because we only seen one game out of Sam Darnold in the playoffs. He's on 1, and that wild card loss against the Los Angeles Rams last year was very atrocious, and I think that's the reason why the Vikings moved off of him to give J.J. McCarthy an opportunity. So if Sam Darnold can come to play and be that clutch guy the Seattle Seahawks are looking for, they can possibly win it all this year. Number 5, I'm going to go with Drake May. Number 5 is Drake May. The thing about Drake May is he's unknown in big games. And what I mean by unknown in big games is you look at his collegiate career with the North Carolina Tar Heels. Wasn't a threat in the ACC as a team, and never played in a big, meaningful game in the ACC. So he has no track record of big games in college football. Not a part of any big championship games, especially not a part of the playoffs. And he's never played an NFL playoff game before in his 2nd year. But he could be MVP this year in his sophomore season. And he has completed 72% of his passes this year. Has a good touchdown-interception ratio of 31 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Could home field advantage work for Drake May? Well, time will tell, because it worked for TB12, Tom Brady in New England. Because Tom Brady, the GOAT, did have 19 victories and 4 losses and New England Patriots home playoff football games in his tenure with the Patriots. So I think Drake May, they're sitting that with the 2nd seed. They got a really good team. I'm going to give him the 5th spot. Number 6, I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. Now, this is honestly the best version that we've seen out of Trevor Lawrence. We've been waiting for this because he was the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft. We've been waiting for this. And the relationship between himself and Liam Cohen is off to the perfect honeymoon start. Liam Cohen, we've seen all the work that he did in Tampa with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the offensive coordinator last year with Baker Mayfield. That was the best version of Baker we've seen. And he did the same damn thing with Trevor Lawrence this year with a lot less offensive talent, in my opinion. And we've seen Trevor Lawrence step up at big moments in his career in the college football world. It's Clemson Tiger days. His freshman year where he went undefeated and won a national championship. So we know he can step up in big-time games and big-time moments. And who could ever forget that 27-point deficit that he faced against the Los Angeles Chargers years ago in the playoffs, but they came back and won that game and defeated Justin Herbert and company at home. I gotta trust him. I'm gonna put him 6 on my list. Again, the list is very dicey because there's a lot of inexperienced guys. 7, I'm gonna put Caleb Williams in this spot. Now, again, it's very high to some to have Caleb Williams at 7, but this is high for someone who has never played a playoff game. But I trust him based off of the year that he's had. He's shown he's a game changer this year. With Ben Johnson calling the plays for him, this man is an absolute game changer. Accurate playmaker, has been clutch in late game situations for the Chicago Bears all year long. And they have the second seed in the NFC. So everything, they can host playoff games possibly up until the point if they had to play the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship. But they got everything. They go on a run. They got the quarterback and Caleb Williams. They got the head coach and Ben Johnson. They got a good running game. They got the good wide receivers of DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. They got a lot out there in Chicago to like. And a really good defense led by Dennis Allen. If he can play the way that he did all season long, they can at least get to the divisional round. And I'm going to put Caleb Williams as number 7. Now, number 8, this guy should be higher, but I don't think they're going to go far. I'm going to put Brock Purdy at 8. Now, playoff Brock Purdy has been outstanding in his 6 games. He's 4-2 in the playoffs and just was in a Super Bowl a year or so ago, competing against the Kansas City Chiefs. So, again, I don't think the 49ers are going to go far. Spoiler, unfortunately. But I got to say he's top 10 because of the track record. Again, if they didn't have a tough draw against the Philadelphia Eagles in the first round, I would say that he would be higher. But Brock Purdy is a quarterback that everybody can trust in the playoffs, so I'm going to put him at 8. Number 9, I'm going to put C.J. Stroud at 9. Now, he could be higher, but I like all the other quarterbacks so much. But C.J. Stroud at 9 is still impressive to me. Scary Texans team heading into the playoffs. That defense, nobody is going to want to play them this year. And they could be a team to get to the Super Bowl this year, honestly. Solid playoff record. C.J. Stroud, in his 3rd season, he's 2-2 in the playoffs. And his only 2 losses in the postseason are coming against some of the best quarterbacks that the AFC has to offer in Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. And those were road losses. So that's nothing to hang your hat on. But he could play in his first AFC Championship game for the first time in his NFL career with that stellar defense that they have. And at number 10, I'm going to put the bad man Aaron Rodgers here. Now, Aaron Rodgers is a certified Hall of Famer. I've already said on this podcast over the years that Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is a top 5 quarterback of all time. He's a bad man, one of the greatest to ever do it. 11 playoff wins in his NFL career, former Super Bowl champion, former Super Bowl MVP. Now, can Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old go on one more magical run? I think he could on the right team, just not with this Pittsburgh Steelers team. But I could be wrong. They could pull it off against the Houston Texans on Monday night. But I just don't think he has enough to work with the Pittsburgh Steelers, even with DK Metcalf being back in the lineup. But tough list this year because there's a lot of inexperienced guys that have never played a playoff game. But those are my top 10 trustworthy quarterbacks heading into the NFL playoffs.